And it's okay. It's just I have to realize my abilities.
So I did well. I do have three more skeins more than tis, so something to think about. Certain that once again we have a broody bird among our midst.
I woke up really early in the morning today, so that means that before I have to start work, I can fly a little. Because I now have two very full bobbins of single ply, and I am very excited to get the first yarn out of it. And while I do so, I thought I would give a review on the wool of the breed because I am very excited about it. So let's go. Ooh, the sunlight as well. Nice. This breed is like roughly 80% Estonian Whitehead, which is the breed that I am like the most excited about, and also a couple of like some percentage of these sheep is Norwegian White and a little bit of what was a Cheviot as well, because these are breeds that can be bred with the good results. And and the reason why I'm so excited about having a majority Estonian Whitehead wool is because this is the breed that I want to have at some point. Like I'm probably going to get sheep in like 3 to 4 years, because like there is still a lot of infrastructure that needs to be set up, and it's all dependent on me getting a good job. And yes, there's some uncertainty about this right now, but I am determined to fulfill my plan of having both chickens and sheep and working from home so that I can use my breaks to take care of them, and I am very excited about it. And the Estonian White is the breed that I want to have, and the wool turns out to be extremely nice. Like, I know that the Estonian White is meant to be sort of a hybrid breed in the sense that it's meant for both meat and wool. But like in the previous few decades, they have been more focused on improving the qualities of the breed's meat and not really focusing on the wool. So it is a really pleasant surprise to see that the wool is actually such a nice quality. And it is so nice because, I mean, I think it's a little bit finer than the majority of the wool that I got from Põlva like the several months ago, and that I have been struggling to work with so far because of the amount of hay in it. And some reasons why I like this wool is also very farm specific, and that is that oh wait, actually there is more about the wool itself that is nice as well, and it seems to be really soft. Like I was really pleasantly surprised that it's not really scratchy at all, which is like has to do with the fineness of the fiber, I think. And also, I am really enjoying the long staple length, aka the long length of the hair, because it makes for a lot more efficient carding, meaning that it's like the amount of work that goes into carding is dependent on the amount of wool, like how do I put this, like circumference one wise and not lengthwise. Like what I mean by that is that when I card the wool, it takes me the same amount whether or not it's short or long. Like it takes me the same amount of work whether it's short or long. But it's nice to have it long because then the same amount of work goes into getting more wool that can be spun. and the long fiber length is really pleasant to spin as well. Like it is a little bit of an adjustment from the shorter wool that I got from Pulva, but it's very nice. And like what I am enjoying about the staple length most is that I can just be so much more efficient in working it. So I'm hoping to get one bobbin full of of 2-ply yarn, so that I can take the final measurements of both length and weight and do my statistics and put it in my Excel table, and so that I can finally put it up against my neck and do the final review of how soft or scratchy the yarn is, because this is so important for me. It's that, I mean, like, it's not like that important because I had already chosen the breed for my future flock of sheep, like of the Estonian Whitehead, to because I just love the breed. It's so sweet, and it has all the other qualities that I like in sheep, which is that they don't have horns, and they are of a decent enough size to get a good amount of meat on them. But it is such a pleasant surprise that I can have like really good quality wool as well from my flock, and I am really excited about eventually having my own wool flock. Like, not wool flock, but like my own wool from my own flock. It would be such a full circle moment. It would be so cool. Of course, I wouldn't, like, as my flock grows, I wouldn't be able to actually process and spin the wool of the entire flock, because I intend to get at most, like at full capacity, roughly 100 sheep, and just imagining taking 100 fleeces and working through them in a year, that is impossible for one single person, because I have the wool that I'm working on currently is only half of a single fleece, and it is already filling up an entire like plastic moving box, and this is only a fraction of it. So a single fleece takes a very long time to work through. And it's okay, it's just I have to realize my abilities. So once I have a large enough amount of sheep that I won't be able to process all their wool myself, then I think I will want to process it at the wool mill that's like, I think it's like a half hour, maybe 40-minute drive away, so it's super local. And I want to start selling that yarn, because it would be so nice to be able to sell the yarn from my flock, especially considering how nice the wool is. And I just hope that there is a market for it, and that people are interested enough in like such local products, because I mean, I would be, but I am really a minority in the crafting community, because most people who are into like knitting and crocheting don't also spin their own yarn. And now comes the most important part, which is the counting, because all of my statistics hinges on the counting. But unfortunately, I am simply unable to count in English. It just messes me up completely. So okay, 1, 2, 94. Now I tie it up, and 69 grams.
So if I've done my math correctly, then it is 196 meters per 100 grams, which is actually exactly my average yarn. So actually I did really well and I should be proud, because I really need for the majority of the yarn to be somewhat of the same thickness so that I can like make a consistent sweater out of it. So I did well. So as you can see, we had some really exciting results from dyeing, and I looked up what the actual name of the tree is, and it is Populus tremola in Latin, and also called quaking aspen. So it turns out that this is actually aspen and not the birch that I thought might be aspen. English is not my first language, so I hope you'll excuse that. But I thought that based on the book that I have and the pictures in it, that I should be getting a sort of medium green from the aspen leaves. But when I was like stirring the yarn in the dye, then I saw that it looked really just yellow. And I was right. So this is the yellow that I got from just the aspen leaves without any extra addition of anything. And because I saw that it's yellow, I decided that I would only do one skein of the yellow because I already have yellow from my birch leaves. However, once I added in the iron water, which is a super cool addition that I haven't like had the bravery to use yet, it turned really cool dark green. Like, I am so happy with this color. I had no idea that the aspen leaves would react this strongly with the iron water, which is basically just water and vinegar that has been sitting with iron for a couple months in a jar. Like, this is such a cool color. Like, I am really happy with the iron water addition aspen dye. Like, it is so cool, and now I am inspired to try to use iron water more often. Like, I really want to try and melt the actual birch dye that I had frozen from a couple weeks back. Melt that, dye some skeins with that, and then like modify it with the iron water and see what happens, because it like that should also give like a shade of green, but it shouldn't give the same shade because it's a different tree. And I do have 3 more skeins mordanted, so something to think about. Like, I'm really surprised that this like autistic special interest that has been on my mind since like New Year's is still so firmly lodged in my brain and like hasn't gotten old yet. Because usually when I get like a hobby related special interest, then it dies out in like some amount of months, and then I switch to a different hobby. But it has been now 6 months that I have been fixated on yarn stuff, and I am still having the time of my life, and it is so great. It is so great. Good afternoon. Don't mind how I look. I have just cleared out the bedding, the entire bedding of the chicken coop, oh boy, and replaced it with fresh bedding, so that I can move in the chickies. It's finally move out day. The chickies are moving to the big coop with the adults. So because of that, I have moved in the big cage for the chickies, because this is where they will be living. It is lovely. It is a lot bigger than their current situation, so it's going to be lovely for them, and they will get to communicate and just hang out with the adults. I have put the door closed for now, for just while I get the chickies in here, and this will be their home for at least a week. I will be keeping them like in here full time, and then I will slowly start just opening it up so that they can mingle with the adults in a non-walled off manner. Let's bring in the babies. Oh, this will probably be the last time that you all fit in this little shoebox. What did you do? Let's start with the baby. And yes, the baby is still alive, somehow. And you're moving out with the others, because I will also be putting in the heat plate with outside, so you will be nice and warm there, and you can continue growing. Oh, the drama. All extremities within the box, please. You're okay, you're okay. Okay, we did it. Welcome to your new home. Hello. This is where you're gonna be living from now on. Okay, first let's do the warm plate. You know this thing. I've seen the first instances of the zoomies. Are you happy, babies? I know it's a bit scary. You've never been in here. You've only been outside on the grass. But you will have a nice time here, I promise. You will grow, and then you will get friendly with the adults. In any case, I'm sure that the adults will come here at some point. But you guys, I'm gonna miss you living inside my bathroom. Certain that once again we have a broody bird among our midst. And no one is surprised to figure out that it is Cardi B, of course. I haven't actually seen her on the nest that much. I only saw her on the nest this morning, and then when it was walking time, she came out on her own. But she has been making the sounds of the broodness, of the beeping. And also I saw Clara beat her up today, and Clara hates Cardi B when she is broody. So that's all tracks that Cardi B might be broody again. Moment of truth, girl. Are you going back on the nest, and will you go back in the jail that I still haven't cleaned up? And also don't mind all the melon rinds. I had a bunch of melon left over from a party. She didn't seem all that interested in going on the nest, so it is time to get on with the more interesting part of today, which is another yarn dyeing project. Because I have this frozen and now properly defrosted liquid from my, what was it, birch leaf dye. I wanted to try what happens if I dye some yarn with it again, but I modify it with iron again. So first I'm going to pour the liquid into, oh, it's still quite yellow and looking like a proper dye solution.
So I'm gonna pour all of it in here because I don't think that I want to refreeze it to try to use it again. Looks like I have enough dye solution for the two skeins that I want to use. And I'm going to now heat this up to 45 degrees Celsius and then add the skeins. Okay, we have reached temperature, so let's go. Oh, this might be too full. I'm just going to take some, and just throw it away because it's too much. And now I'm going to lower the temperature and get it slowly heated to 80 to 90 degrees once again, and then I'm planning to use the iron very late in the end. First I want the yarn to sit in the dye for 1 hour-ish, and then like at the temperature that at the 80 to 90 degree temperature, and only then add in the iron. But this time I want to be more careful with adding in the iron, because last time I think I may have put in a little bit too much, because the dark green yarn, while it is beautiful in color, it is feeling a little bit, how do I say this, rough? Like the texture of the yarn seems altered, so I'm afraid that I may have used too much iron and damaged the fibers of the yarn a little. So I'm going to try to put in less iron this time, and in the hopes of not damaging the yarn again. So now comes the exciting part. This has been sitting for an hour and it is looking nice and yellow like the yarn that I got from it previously. But now we will be slowly and very sparingly entering the iron water. Ooh. More. At the risk of overdoing it, I kind of want to do as much as I can. Okay, I'll do like one last time. Okay, and now I'm done. And now I will count to 1 minute, and then I will immediately rinse it. Okay, so this is the hottest water that comes from the sink. Oh, I should put on my gloves. We're looking very dark. This might take a while. Results are in, and don't mind my sunburn, I made mistakes. We have another pair of dark green skeins, and these are a little bit more dull in their green and like somewhat more darker also than the green that I got from the aspen. But it's still a really pretty color, and I'm going to compare all of the different colors that I got from the two tree leaves as well. Okay, I'm doing this on grass in the hopes of getting the best color definition on camera. So this is the birch leaf dye, and this is the aspen leaf dye. As you can see, there are subtle differences, comparing the yellows of the two. You can see that from the birch we get like this more dark and just more saturated yellow, and from the aspen we get this really bright like light yellow even at full saturation. So it might be the case of just the birch dye like holding on to the yarn more than so that it just becomes more dark in its color. And with the greens you can see a similar difference, that the birch is just a really dark green that is almost like it's almost like a more cold tone than the aspen leaves, because like this reminds me more of like spruces, and this is more like the dark green of leaves in midsummer. So these are like these are both beautiful colors that I got by modifying the original dye bath with iron, and I'm really happy with both, even though I probably used a little bit too much iron with the aspen leaves because this is like this yarn feels a little bit off in texture, so I might have damaged the yarn a little bit with the amount of iron I put in. But overall, I am super happy with the experiment. We have the original dye of two types of leaves, and the iron modified version of them as well. And I'm loving the iron modification. I am definitely going to do more of it because now that I have discovered it, I cannot wait to have more. And this is just more yarn for my collection of different colors of yarn that I will eventually be using in my dream sweater, in my dream colorful sterile style sweater. So I hope that this has been an interesting dyeing video for you, with a little interlude of chicks, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!